People, I'm Trayvon Miles.
And I'm Jeff Harris.
And this, of course, is the Delmarva Sports Insider. Coming up in just a bit on tonight's episode, Barnstormer in the Bury. Queen Anne's boys making the trip to Parkside. Very close game between two pretty evenly matched squads in this one.
And the Shorebirds played host to the Charleston River Dogs, funny name there, in a 4-game series. Full highlights from their matchup last night coming up in just a bit.
That's right, and we're rolling out our draft specials. Eagles, Redskins, and Ravens and Cowboys just wrapped up their draft. We'll have all of your coverage coming up a little bit later on. Make sure you stick around for that. That'll be a good time. Welcome to the show you know and love, of course, the Delmarva Sports Insider. Like a lot of times, Jeff, we got a lot of stuff to get to tonight, including, as we said, some NFL draft stuff.
A lot of draft stuff.
Me and Jeff will battle it out here on the desk, but we'll begin with that later. Tonight we begin with another rivalry matchup, if you will, that was on Monday. Two schools separated by just 2 miles. Y-High and Bennett got together for senior night at Berry Field. Talking about boys lacrosse, 5 seniors for Bennett, 14 represented for Wicomico High School. Two historically different teams, but Y-High having a good year this year. Check out Tribe goalie P.J. Howard. He stopped that one with his face mask, folks. We'd be scoreless through the first 8 minutes, and then Bennett would eventually break through. Cade Trouger scoring the first goal of the game. Bennett scores a couple quick ones, and then Y-High back at him. Shaquem Handy, they call him Butter. Smooth for a reason. Smooth move there for the goal for the senior. Clippers would lead 5-2 midway through the second, but they go on a huge run led by this guy, Luke Nestor, the big sophomore. He had himself a game. Of course, Big Luke's got the bloodline to match. His dad, Jim, is the women's Lex coach at Salisbury. Luke finished with 7 goals as Bennett runs away with this one. They win it 16-6. And I got to give some love, first of all, to our co-worker, Greg LaFrance.
Of course.
Again, he's done a masterful job with a bunch of guys that have been losing, honestly, for most of their career in high school as far as Y-High goes. He's changing the culture. They're 5-6 right now. I can't even think of the last time I've ever heard of Y-High being close to 500 as far as lacrosse goes. But obviously, you see what they had in Bennett. They had a faster, more talented, more skilled, and a younger team. You know what I mean? So I think if Bennett could just get over that hump that they have, which is Kent Island, which is a lot easier said than done, they would be okay. But a lot remains to be seen with this year, how this year's going.
And a nice point there, Greg LaFrance. The kids love playing for him as well. You go out to these games, you see the parents, everybody interacting. They love playing for Greg.
Great
that's
point.
Absolutely a great attribute to have in some of your young players. But Trey, even though there was a touch of rain, I know this week, that didn't stop the Stephen Decatur boys lacrosse team from hitting the field, taking on Cambridge South Dorchester Wednesday afternoon.
Good game.
We're going to pick things up early on. Decatur's Parker Wheeler fires the missile for the first score of the game. Seahawks up 1-0. Cambridge South Dorchester, though, number 20, we're going to see him. Micah Brooks. He's going to put his defender on skates. Look at this, up and under. Ooh, could be a play of the week. Diving in for the goal to tie it up late. But Colin Eitzel for Decatur. He's going to find Charlie Coots coming up right here, finding Coots for the shot to take the lead and seal the win. Decatur holds on to win this one by 1, 8-7.
Wow.
Now,
Shocking,
Trey, it is a bit shocking, but the thing is, we've seen that the Decatur boys have kind of an up and down season so far. They're sitting at 2-6, not the best record, but some of those teams that they've played, 3 of them, Queen Anne's, Cape Henlopen, and then also Kent Island.
They've got a really, really tough schedule is what's ahead of them. But as you said, you see the what they can do. You know what I mean? You see the progress of the program right now. But like you said, a very tough schedule, 2-6, but one of those wins to be the defending South champions in Cambridge. Hey, gotta love it, right?
Gotta take it, right?
Exactly. All right, Queen Anne's also taking the 90-minute trip on Wednesday to Parkside, and they had their hands full with one person in particular when they took on the Rams. That guy is Parkside's Jacob Keitel. Look at him weaving through the defense. That was just one of his first 3 goals of the night. Queen Anne's looking for a rhythm. They drove all the way 90 minutes to try to find that rhythm. I'm not sure they found it all the way, but Matt Wendelkind is going to trip up his defender for a little, and then he's going to fire one in for the score. But as I said, the Lions could not stop this guy. Kydell going to find Austin Ingley inside, and Ingley rips one. Almost went through the net there.
Whoa.
The Rams take the win by a final of 12-9. This was a great win for Parkside. They're a middle-of-the-pack team. I want people to understand they just beat a very good team that is pretty good in the Bayside North. And I think as far as location goes, it had a lot to do with it being in Salisbury and that 90-minute trip, as I said. But a great win nonetheless for the Rams. I don't want to take anything away from them and the performance of Kydell. He had a great win, a great game in that one. They get this win, and then they turn around and lose to Bennett a couple days ago. Parkside did. So that's where they are as a team. Inconsistent at best, the Rams are.
Inconsistent, but Bennett, a very much improved and skilled team. I know, just on a side note, they're playing on their new turf field now, so that's absolutely a plus. But, you know, losing to a team like Bennett does not diminish what you've been able to accomplish so far this season.
I agree.
But the Easton boys, also a great team to watch out for, took the field this week hosting a team we just mentioned, Y-High, and Easton got out early and often. Connor Butler passes to Chris Gibbs, who fires right past the keeper's head for the goal. Then we're going to see Finn Gibbs going to find Mitchell Reilly, who breaks out the sweet spin move and puts it in for the score.
I see you. Look at them jerseys,
and,
man.
those jerseys are nice. And Gibbs now again. Watch, he's going to put the defender in a spin cycle.
Who put this on here? Who cut this, man?
Adding to Easton's large lead and capping things off in this one.
You cut this.
Nice pass from Dylan Keenan to Chris Gibbs for the shot up high. Easton wins big. They're going to go on to beat Y-High 18-5. And Trey.
Man, as much as I tried to fluff my guys up on that on that Bennett script, and we just turn around and see that happen to Easton. Easton's a good team, though.
Yeah, and doesn't do Y-High any justice because, of course, they're on the rise. But Easton, a team, and I want to ask you a question. I know you've been around the area for a little while. And Easton, do you think that, you know, a program like theirs on the rise could maybe at some point be considered in the ranks of the Cape Henlopins and Ken Islands?
They're in a very tough situation, Jeff, and I'll tell you why. They got Ken Island up there. Ken Island's always going to be good. You got Queen Anne's in the same county as Ken Island. Also coming up is a program on the rise in their own respect, as we saw the Lions. You also got Cambridge, who is Easton's main rival, right across that bridge. They're usually pretty good, although they play lacrosse in the Bayside South. A lot going on for Easton and a lot of players being tapped out of Easton, you know, for them to be absolutely be good. But I'll tell you what, they're doing a great job right now of sticking with what they have. I know a couple of years ago, they had a couple of really great players that went to some colleges, and they lost a lot of talent from those runs. But I think they're doing a good job of playing with what they have, and they got to kind of keep developing those young players. A lot of youth programs as far as lacrosse goes in Easton right now that are being developed. Obviously, Kent Island and Queen Anne's had the early start. They got kids that are playing lacrosse since they come out, you know what I mean, since they're 7 and 8 years old.
And that's what it's about, getting the youth programs around, especially with the weather, what we're having in the spring, making sure that people are out there active, lacrosse, volleyball, Maryland. Whatever the spring sports are.
Easton, Maryland, get your lacrosse up. The programs are coming up, and of course we're talking lacrosse. How could we even go on without discussing the Salisbury University, the Harvard of the Mid-Atlantic? Exactly, it's postseason time. And the college ranks, and SU had 2 huge games in York, Pennsylvania today. And the fellas, of course, they got their revenge from last year's CAC title loss. They beat up the York Spartans for a second time this season. The guys jumped out to a 5-0 lead and led 11-1 at halftime. What do you go in telling your team if you're losing 11-1 at halftime?
Try and stop them. I mean, if you saw any tape any tape of SU this year, especially when York traveled to SU to play a few weeks ago, maybe about a week and a half ago, they're going to say, hey, you know what? I'm staying positive. Everybody stay positive.
Positive.
Just stay physical, and maybe we'll put some in. But SU definitely deserves this one.
That did not work. And, of course, the win marks the program's 20th CAC championship. Congratulations. And clinches an automatic NCAA tournament berth, where the Gulls will defend their national championship. Champions wear gold, baby.
And don't forget about the SU women also in a CAC championship matchup earlier this afternoon in York. And the Lady Gulls captured the title, as you see, 7-2, defeating York. Allison Hinson had a pair of goals for the Lady Gulls. Kristen Murphy, Lindsay Wagner, Gabby Nieves, Gabby Mongo, and Dana King also scoring as well. And, you know, chances the SU women and men win a title here, Trey?
I don't know, man. We'll have to see. How pumped do you think I would be if that happened?
I mean, I know that I'd be anchoring this myself if it's on a Saturday. So I hope that says it all.
I would be there. All right, you're exactly right, Jeff. All right, that's all the time we have for right now. We're hitting our first commercial break. When we come back, we're talking a little baseball. Indian River looking to make it 3 straight wins when they hosted Laurel. That's next.
My name is Matthew Warrington. I pitch for the Sussex Tech Ravens, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.